Out of all rappers in the music industry, there's one rapper whose issues with the law enforcement gets talked about daily, and it's in a very negative way. And that rapper is Xxxtentacion. Now, instead of researching about X's previous court cases, people that don't like him like to assume the absolute worst about him. But in reality, people get his court cases way mixed up, and today I'll be sharing the truth behind Xxxtentacion's arrest records and share the exclusive court information about some certain court cases about X, which gave him a very bad reputation. So make sure you guys watch this video all the way until the end, as this is one you'll not want to miss. Also, if you would like to join the channel's giveaway on any items you see on screen, then leave a like on the video and subscribe to enter. Now, Xxxtentacion always had issues with law enforcement. This was ever since he was a kid, and actually, if it wasn't for this, then he never would have even met his best friend, Ski Mask, as X was expelled from school and then taken into a juvenile detention center. This would be for a year long, which is actually where he even ended up meeting Ski Mask. Until the year 2015, Xxxtentacion was doing small things, small crimes that wasn't really going to, have you have a sentence for years on end, but these small little incidents he would get himself into ended up getting him kicked out of school, and even later ended up getting him kicked out of his own house. But in 2015, that's when things got very serious for Xxxtentacion, as he was taken into lockup for committing home invasion, robbing, and having an altercation with someone inside of the house allegedly. Now, this is X's real first serious case, and this was the first time he was actually taken into lockup. This was also around the time when Xxxtentacion dropped his hit song Look at Me, which is probably the song everybody watching this video right now found out about Xxxtentacion, as it was literally the biggest song in 2015 and actually took the entire music industry by storm. Now, after being released for the case in 2015, Xxxtentacion came out of lockup being the biggest thing in the music industry. He had so much attention on him, but that's when the biggest court case of Xxxtentacion's life and career happened. Make sure you continue watching, as this is the most important case in probably the last decade of the hip-hop world. Now, fast forwarding to mid-July of 2015, this is where things got pretty interesting for X's music career. This was the point where you either loved X or you wanted absolutely nothing to do with him, as he was taken into lockup for a case involving an incident with his ex-girlfriend, Geneva. Now, Xxxtentacion and Geneva had a very long history together. Even before this court case, they were dating and went through lots of real life things together. X was taken into lockup after an incident that occurred with some unspeakable things allegedly happening to Geneva. And for a split amount of time, this actually ended up ruining his music career for a short couple of months. That was until the truth finally came out about what really happened. On December 1st, Xxxtentacion and his lawyers ended up submitting a document allegedly being signed by Geneva herself in hopes that the entire court case will be dropped, as she wanted to have the case dropped herself instead of continuing it, which really did bring out a lot of new information about what really happened in this entire court case. And allegedly, from online sources, people claimed that this incident happened while Xxxtentacion was locked up for the last case that we spoke about earlier in this video. So if X was locked up, How did he do what the media says he did to his ex-girlfriend? And that is currently the question that millions of people are still wondering to this day. But even then, you still have to remember this case, the entire case, was dropped in court. So with this case getting dropped in 2016, we're going to be fast forwarding to 2017 when this case actually gets reopened in court. Now apparently some things ended up coming out where Xxxtentacion maybe was doing a thing called a witness tampering, where he basically was telling Geneva to sign the form to have the case dropped. This ended up getting reopened, and I think this is where all of the confusion from the fans starts to sink in. And let me explain how it actually ended up going through. Make sure you continue watching as it starts to get a little bit confusing. Now, a statement came out from TMZ which says prosecutors believe that the rapper told his ex-girlfriend and actually ended up manipulating her into signing the documents to have this court case dropped. This previously was the submitted documents that claimed that she wanted the charges dropped. And apparently, he was telling her to sign these papers, or else he would end up be facing decades in prison at minimum if she did not sign those papers. Now, as of right now, we obviously don't know if that is true or not, as Xxxtentacion did sadly pass, which means that this entire case was dropped. But due to Xxxtentacion sadly passing at such a very young age of only 20, his criminal record is pretty small. It's only 2 cases, but you have to remember any problems he had with law enforcement under the age of 18, they are not actually online. You cannot see those court documents, you can't see into those records due to him being under the age of 18. So that is currently why he only has 2 cases onto his record, but he was also taken into juvenile detention when he was under the age of 18. He was expelled from school, and honestly, I feel like a lot of people do not give X the benefit of the doubt. Sure, his record is not one of the cleanest, but if you look at the positive things that he did for his community and his family, you would actually see how good of a guy he truly was. But I am going to be ending the video here. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It has been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.